Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Michael Angulo. I get to oversee the worship teams here, and it's something I love to do. And I get to hang out with all of you guys all the time when we're not doing chapel, which is pretty awesome. And then I get to partner with Steve Jenkins, and he's the GOAT, greatest of all time, doing tremendous work. You probably already saw his video. If you haven't seen his video, it's coming up. But yeah, that's what I do here. And the thing that I'm going to be talking about, the topic I am talking about today is promoting transparency and promoting vulnerability, if that's a word, vulnerability, something like that. And the way I'm going to do that is kind of share a little story about an event that happened to me that really caused me to be vulnerable and transparent, something that I didn't want to do. And I really want to focus on being transparent and vulnerable in failures that we have in our life, or things that we failed at that we just don't want to communicate or don't want to bring out or don't want to talk about. That's what I want to promote, talking about those things, because I believe if we could talk about those things, we could start a process of healing from that and growing from that. And I think that's what the Lord wants in our lives, and it's a beautiful place to be. And so my story was, I was at a Jesus Culture conference. You're thinking, man, this guy's about to just get wrecked by the Lord. And you know, it's a Jesus Culture conference. Kim Walker's leading us in worship. They have the best speakers coming in. Oh my goodness. Well, guess what? I didn't get wrecked there. I didn't have this epiphany there. Actually, at this conference, I was hiding so much. And as my best friend and a lot of my other friends were asking me, you know, Mike, we have this feeling like a lot of stuff's going on in your life. We've seen you acting a little weird. What's up? I continued to hide. And the main thing they were pushing for was, hey, we know in your past you haven't really done too well with relationships and relationships with females, you know, dating relationships, romantic relationships. And I'd communicated to them, hey, I want to be single, you know, this is a good season for that. I'm trying to grow. But they had clearly seen that I'd been texting other people, and they would ask, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And I kind of shrug it off and, you know, try to put a facade up. And the reason is because these girls I was texting, I had failed with, you know, I had crossed the line sexually, and it was something that I was like totally hiding from them, because one, they knew my past, they knew what I was capable of doing, or knew that I'd struggled in that area in my past. And so they were just trying to be accountable and trying to help me out. But it was something I was hiding. And so we're at this conference, and it's supposed to be amazing. And it was a good conference. But we're at the end of the conference, and I had been around all these guys, you know, that I'd went up with for a really long time, and I wanted to get away. So I get away from them, and, you know, I'm just in my own little seat. Everybody's away, and I'm just enjoying the conference. It's the last day. It ends, and I get up and leave, and I'm trying to find my boys. So I'm like, oh, let me just text them. So I get my phone out. Where's my phone? I can't find my phone. I go back to my seat. I can't find it. Go to the security. They can't find it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go back to the hotel, and everybody will eventually show back up there. Well, my best friends start trying to call me, and someone, you know, had my phone, and so they picked it up, and they're communicating, and they link up so that whoever had my phone can give my best friends, you know, my phone. So when my best friend gets my phone, he opens it up, and he sees a bunch of text messages from this girl that they knew was trouble for me. And they started reading the text messages, and it was pretty explicit. It wasn't good. And so they, you know, they met up with me back at the hotel, and they were like, Mike, what's up, dude? Like, this is what we're seeing. And I'm kind of pushing it aside, and it was just hard, you know. I think it's hard for all of us to really, when we fail in an area in our life, you know, our culture says, you know, don't show emotion, don't show, you know, vulnerability, just like put a facade up, you know. And so that's what I was trying to do, and it just wasn't working. And, you know, I really felt like the Lord wanted one more in that moment. Nothing happened. I go home, and my parents are asking about the conference, and my best friend is like, yeah, dude, this happened. And my parents were like, hey, Mike, is there more to this story? And they start pushing and pushing and pushing. And I had a decision to make right then and there. Am I going to continue living a life that is just hiding from my failures, or hiding from confronting my failures, and lying to my friends about it? And that had been a life that I'd been living for a really long time. And so I decided in that moment, you know what, God, here we go. Like, I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be truthful and vulnerable in this moment. And as I started confessing what was going on in my life and was transparent and vulnerable about these failures in my life, it was so cool to see how my parents reacted. They pressed in, they loved on me, they wanted to create a place where I could share even more things that I may have not have shared about my past. And so that night turned into a very emotional night, but a night where I was able to just continue to confess and talk through a lot of these failures. And I wasn't condemned. My best friend was in shock because I had lied to him so much about these things. But I was surrounded by a community that wanted to help me. They wanted, what's best for my life. They wanted me to be truthful. They didn't want me to feel like I had to hide or put up a mask like I have it all together. They wanted me to just be who I am. They wanted me to be transparent and vulnerable, and that is the main thing in this story. Fast forward, I get to go to San Diego Christian, and that next month to finish my education, and that was a thing that I pushed for, was vulnerability and transparency. And I wrote out a document and said, hey guys, here you go. These are the things I struggle with. These are the things I need to be accountable with. I didn't go around the whole school giving it to everybody. I had a core group of guys that I truly felt comfortable with and knew they wanted what's best for me. And I just said, hey, keep me accountable and ask these questions. And I still had the responsibility of continuing to be transparent and vulnerable. And that is the main point that I'm trying to push in. Just some easy applications for you guys. I would encourage you guys to find a group of guys or gals or mentors, or people you just feel like you could truly confess or truly communicate what's really going on in your life. And I feel like there's an enemy out there that wants to say, no, you will be judged. No, if people really knew who you were, they wouldn't like you. And that is a straight lie from the devil. I think we need to embrace our failures. I think failure in life is necessary because it allows us to learn. It allows us to walk through seasons where we need others, where we need community. And that is a thing that, I had to really learn the hard way. But man, has it been a life full of freedom? I still am faced with the same trials. I'm still faced with temptation, but it's not the temptation that is sinful. It's the moments that we start lying to ourselves. It's the moments that we start indulging and telling nobody. It's the moments that we try to take it on all by ourselves that we'll find ourselves, failing, which again, if we could just communicate those failures to others, I truly believe we could start walking a path towards healing, because we're allowing other people to, walk in whatever we're going through, and they're with us. And so kind of my vision for, even like the big vision for this whole video, is that we would see a culture at San Diego Christian that is a safe place to communicate what's actually going on, and having a community that is not ready to throw stones or ready to judge or ready to make fun of, but a community that understands and can relate and come together and help each other heal, and help each other be transparent, help each other be vulnerable, so that we're not just living in a culture that we feel like everybody has it together, but we understand, hey, they have issues, they have issues, they have issues, we all have issues, we all fail, and it's a good thing because we all need Jesus. And so that is my hope for you guys. And so as you go into your small group or whatever you guys are doing, just some questions. You may not feel ready to just share everything. So I would encourage you, start small. You don't have to confess your deepest, darkest secret, but at least confess how you're feeling. Things, maybe small failures that you've had in your life that, you could start with that and then grow up to maybe bigger failures that, you just haven't talked about. And again, I would ask the alpha groups to create a safe place, create a place where it's confidential, create a place where you guys will not judge, but really come alongside and help each other. So I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, great whatever it is, and I'll see you guys around campus.